And shares of pharmacy benefits managers fell yesterday after the president-elect Trump said that he plans to knock out drug industry middlemen.
And we have a thing called the middleman. You know the middleman, right? The horrible middleman that makes more money, frankly, than the drug companies, and they don't do anything except they're a middleman. We're going to knock out the middleman. I'm going to be very unpopular after that statement.
CVS Health, United Health, and Cigna each fell by 3% or more. All of those companies own the largest prescription drug middlemen. These are companies that used to be independent, but they've all gotten wrapped into these pharmacy companies as pharmacy benefits managers. And guys, we've talked to a lot of people, including Mark Bertolini and others, former executives or current executives in the industry, who say that these PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, have really outlived their time. They used to be there to try and squeeze out costs to get a better price for the consumer, but they've kind of gotten wrapped up, a lot of people will allege, as profit centers for these pharmacy companies.
Existing for kind of their own sake. And they went, remember they went,
right.
Your friends in investment banking, merge, demerge, merge again, with all the famous ones, remember Medco and, name
everybody's trying to, they were all trying to take the middleman out by putting them in the middle. I mean, the middleman becoming the main man of sorts.
And the PBMs feel to me like they are the new HMOs. You guys remember, this goes all the way back to the Clinton administration, when HMOs were really seen as the bad guys when they were going to try and tackle healthcare costs. Part of the problem is we just have this system that's been built upon system after system, and ways of trying to squeeze costs, simplifying things, never really come to fruition. But you need transparency. You need to understand how these things work, and you need to find a way to help the private sector do what the private sector does, which is try and wring costs out of these things.
Right. People living a lot longer, and they want everything that you can get. They want the state-of-the-art healthcare, which is expensive, and the aging population. I'm not speaking personally here, but there are the population of people over 65 years old is going to swell and swell and swell, and then you get up with chronic diseases that cost so much to maintain, and then you got lifestyle issues too. Again, I'm not speaking personally about being fat but obesity is an issue. Less weight cures a lot of
yes.
Well, the middlemen essentially are pharmacy benefit managers, I think, is what he's referring to there. We saw weakness in the those that own them. UNH, of course, owns Optum, CVS, and then there's also Express. McKesson is its own.
I mean, these companies are not without their friends. And by the way, they all resent the middlemen. Cardinal's done a lot to be able to be a little bit more forward about what can be done. McKesson is considered to be a company that has done a lot to be able to make it so smaller drugstores get product. I am not
CVS is Caremark, obviously.
Right, CVS is Caremark. CVS stock has just cratered, and then cratered, and then cratered again. Yep. Now we know Walgreens has cratered. Remember that the alleged buyout that...
Yeah, I mean, I think Sycamore at Walgreens still probably trying. It's just very, as I pointed out, very difficult.
It's a moving target.
To imagine a buyout of the full company, given many of the challenges, not to mention the size that you're talking about overall.
But Cencora,
and the equity check,
Cencora, a huge company in Philadelphia, does a lot of,
the opioid litigation. There's just so many different potential gating issues there, as I pointed out. Not that Sycamore wouldn't necessarily want to keep trying, Jim. But back to the larger issue here. I mean, my understanding is that drug prices have actually grown at half the rate of the CPI over the last 10 or 15 years. Because of Medicare Part D has kept it in check. So the president-elect may say that, but it's not necessarily equating with what really has happened to drug prices.
Well, the drug companies will all give you some great data, which shows you that they are not the cause of the inflation, but they always are willing to finger United Health.
And meanwhile, all the drug company stocks are up. We should get to Pfizer as well, which provided guidance. Separate story.
When they made the number, which is now means they beat the number. But David, also in the New York Times, giant companies took secret payments to allow free flow of opioids. This is a fantastic investigation by the New York Times that once again says that these companies wanted to stop selling opiates, got paid under the table to do it.
Right.
Oh my! Talk about public enemy number one. I mean, Carl. I mean, you read. People work at these companies, and they don't just come into a criminal enterprise
every day.
Right. Hey, let's go to a criminal enterprise that does nothing but we are just a tax on the system. They're not. But at the same time, right now, I've never seen it this bad for them. And CVS, by the way, is a great company, but CVS is viewed as being part of the problem of the cost of health care, and they have no friends whatsoever. And by the way, when you go to CVS, we all know what happens, which is, customer service, candy aisle, customer service, I went over yesterday to one of them down here. It wasn't a CVS. And I said, listen, I'll try to get it open. I just didn't want to hear a customer service candy aisle one more time.
But frankly, that's not really where the problem is.
Nor is it a national phenomenon either.
As you well know, much of the stock price decline, Jim, took place as a result of Aetna and the misses they had in terms of their medical loss ratio.
I was just saying the frustration that you have.
It's not the back end. That's a
separate
part of the company.
If you go to Amazon and they do what I think it's going to be, which is a huge number of same day, Do you want to go and
No,
wait
I know
for
you're talking about the retail experience. And
people at home do not watch us every day, and they need to know that these are things that face it's existential, and it's not. It's the front of the store and the back of the store. Okay, it's existential. All right.